Welcome back to Exotic Car Hacks, and today we're going to actually take a peek at my new 90s and 2000s car collection. Now, some of you have been following the channel for some time know I'm very nostalgic, and like most people who get older with time, yes, I'm getting old now, you typically start collecting old shit that new people just basically don't like. That's very normal. So this is my 1965 backdraft Cobra. That's basically decoration here. It's just a cool piece of decoration, resto modded to look somewhat more acceptable to young children out there. But let's go in and I'm gonna give you a tour today of some of the coolest cars that I've been able to collect so far. It's been pretty impressive, but let's see what you think about it. But first, before you go, quick word from our sponsor.
GrailZ.com is a reputable online platform specializing in auctioning high-end timepieces. Known for its transparency and security, it provides a reliable way to sell watches online. Focused on smooth transactions, GrailZ ensures a secure environment for both buyers and sellers. Prioritizing genuine buyers, the platform offers a premium selling experience for sellers and great deals for buyers on luxury watches. Explore GrailZ at GrailZ.com for top-notch service in the luxury watch market.
All right, we're back. So let's take a look at some of the cars, because a lot of new cars have started arriving, and I wanted to share some of the old, some of the new. Some of you guys that are new to the channel may not know I collect a lot of cars. So as you can see down there, we got all the new stuff, and all the way up here, we have some of the old stuff. And so some interesting cars, some more nostalgic than others, some that are just more exciting, I should say, based on when you were born. Back then, we'll start in the corner because I was actually driving it, so it's not sitting on the platform. You'll see my 06 Ford GT 1000 horsepower car. That's the only car that's down there that should be up here technically. This is my 2005 NSX Targa. This car was slightly modded. It's a spa yellow, very rare car. BBS LMs on it, NSXR steering wheel, spoon shifter, JZ exhaust, suspension, and basically 10,000 original miles in mint condition. Here is my 2000 Cobra R. For those of you that know the Cobra R, this was a car I made 300 of in 2000. Ford didn't make an actual Cobra in 2000 except for the Cobra R. This was the first car that kind of had these dark headlights, this crazy splitter, and had a 1G cornering force to it. It doesn't have AC or anything else. It's basically a race car. Very interesting side pipes and Cobra R wheels and big spoiler. I don't really drive this, but again, it's more for the investment purposes of it. Since it doesn't have radio and AC, it makes it kind of somewhat hard to drive. This is a very iconic car, and this is the car that most people hit me up about when they see actually my car collection, which is interesting because I had an obsession with this car because when I was 18 years old, I saw this and it was 60 plus grand. You have to understand that a $60,000 Mustang in the year 2000 was a big deal. It's the equivalent of a $300,000 Mustang again in today's age. You have to understand that because back then a Mustang GT was $13,000. So today, you know, we have Shelbys and shit that are like 120 for like normal production Mustangs. So that tells you how much time has changed and how unaffordable things have become generally, not just because of COVID. Don't make it political, just know that. This is a fully built out RX-7 two-rotor sequential factory transmission, Rei Ayanami kit. It's a 250K built out of AS Japan. Really cool. My friends at RMC Miami gave me this. I can't even get in it because I'm too fat and there's a cage, so it's more for decoration than anything else. Very iconic car. A Ferrari. When I was buying my very first 911 Turbo as my first exotic, one of my buddies, his name was Diego Ferrari, had one of these. This is a Challenge Stradale, the Pista you would call it, of the 360 era. Beautiful car, ceramic brakes, Stradale wheels, full Alcantara interior, and just a superb piece of, in my opinion, what I consider to be the first era of modern Ferrari, and one of the best looking cars from Ferrari in generations. I think the 360 was one of the best cars. This was the best variation of that car. The whole interior has, you know, carbon doors and everything else. It's just a beautiful car, generally speaking. And on top of that, having this very rare no stripe variation, because I hate stripes, and so having this was a really big deal to me. It took me a little bit of time. It has 14,000 original miles. Our friends at Ryan Friedman sent this over, and It's been in the collection and it's quite beautiful. It was actually a really mint car for its age and for the fact that I have 14,000 miles. It's now 20 years old. Imagine this, 20 years. I used to listen to like Fabulous have this shit on the cover of his album for like the 360. It was pretty crazy. This is what I consider to be the best 993. I know people are gonna disagree with me. In my opinion, the two best 993s ever made were the 1997 Turbo S and the 1998 4S Aero Kit. So people will disagree. Porsche fans will say the 2S was a better car, but I disagree. 4S factory aero kit, one of 200 cars made in 98, which was the final year. They did not have a turbo in 98. This car has 30,000 original miles. The interior is mint. Everything's perfect on it. Had the headlights redone, Turbo S ducts, suspension done, some spacers, factory, wheels on it, of course. Had the calipers redone correctly to match the red seat belts because they were faded as age. And generally speaking, everything else is original now. None of these cars have any paintwork. That's one of the key things to collecting some of these older cars. I don't really drive these cars because they're not that exciting to drive anymore, but they're quite beautiful and they bring back an era, you know, just for some of us as we're getting older. When I was young and I couldn't afford shit, this was what was roaming the street that billionaires drove. Like, you have to understand, this is how far things have changed today. One of the things I talk about in Exotic Car Hacks about how the industry has changed as a whole, like how easy it is now to get cars and what it wasn't. And people say, well, no, cars are for billionaires. And I tell people, I'm like, no, because think about it. There were like so few of these back in the day, and there's so many new Porsches and so many new variations on the road. So it's just not that special to own a Porsche anymore. So when I say I feel poor driving a Huracan, it's because the Huracan has become like the Range Rover of today's times, and that's just reality. On this side though, we have some really interesting cars too. The Vanquish S, this is a 2005, 15,000 original miles, all original paintwork. This car is basically restored to perfection, had the wheels redone, the brake calipers redone, engine, transmission, fully overhauled. The headlights you can see are all crusty and ugly and shit, and we ordered brand new headlights. One side came in, the other side is like a couple of days away. This is gonna get redone, and it's gonna basically probably be one of the nicest and exciting Vanquish S's of its time. So 2005, 2006 were the two Vanquish S's. This was, in my opinion, one of the most iconic bodies for the Vanquish. While I agree that the new Vanquish is obviously much sexier, prettier, whatever, the Vanquish in this particular era was just really important because this was the James Bond Vanquish. So the Z8 and the 740i were basically Pierce Brosnan James Bond cars, and then for Daniel Craig, they went to like the DBS. So I've always loved this because this was like basically James Bond of my era, but this car is really iconic in design in my opinion, and probably one of the best looking cars of the 2000s. Once the headlights go in, you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll do a full review of this. And then the most interesting car, I just bought this literally from eBay. Don't fucking ask me why. I have no idea why I bought this. This is a 1992 850 V12 6-speed BMW. It's rare enough in its configuration. It's got like 90,000 miles. It's brilliant red, which is interesting. And it's got a Pandem V12 wide body kit, and it's got Hammond wheels on it, and then it's got a series of upgrades from, you know, coilover suspension to exhaust to carbon fiber on the interior. I mean, it's old as fuck, but it's really cool. This is the original 8 Series. This is what was the most, I think, advanced car for BMW for a long time. I mean, look at it. This is beautiful. Like, it's crazy. Imagine in 92 driving this. When I came to America, I had a 1992 Ford Probe. I mean, it was a piece of shit. I think it was an 89 or 92. It was just terrible. But like, this was on the road back then when I first came to America, which is crazy. Some really cool features of the inside I want to show you. Take a look at this. It's got the old school foam. This isn't a joke. And then the craziest part is on the other side, there's an actual coin holder for when you go to the toll road. Like, imagine these things, and look at how good the interior is kept for a car that's like, this is original leather. It's like 20 years old, you know, like it's insane. Like, it's more than 20 years now. It's almost 30 years old. So crazy, crazy car, but an interesting piece nonetheless. So this has just been a preview. I just wanted to give you guys kind of a look into the 1990s, 2000 kind of collection I'm building here. There's a couple of more cars that are gonna be coming. We're missing an LP640, missing a 430 Scuderia, and a 575 manual. So once those cars come, this collection will basically be complete. It's not that, the goal here was not to create the most iconic collection. It was the most iconic collection to me specifically based on what I thought was exciting back in the day. The whole goal of this is to not only enjoy some of these cars while being able to, of course, turn around and make a profit doing it, just like we teach at Exotic Car Hack. So let me know in the comments which one of my old cars is your favorite. Is it the Porsche, that crazy BMW, the crazy RX-7, or what about the 360, or like most people say, probably the Cobra R? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, and of course, I'll catch you next time for Exotic Hack. But don't forget, in the comments, you can put in your favorite car, but in the actual description, take a look and actually join our free training so you can actually learn how to do this too. See you guys next time.